All right, good evening, everybody. This is meteorologist Brad Warner with Region Weather Live, and we are here to talk about the weather, people. That's right, that's what we're here to do. But first, as always, make sure you like and subscribe. Click on the buttons down below. If you're here and you're watching this on the playback, glad you could join us. Glad you could watch this after the fact. Please hit like, hit subscribe, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. That really helps this little handy dandy channel out so that we can reach out to more people rather than just a few that are currently seeing this at the moment. That would be great. All right, we're taking a look at the current gusts around the area. Still some 30s left. Let's get rid of that standby. How about that? There we go. All right. Still some 30s left out in kind of that troublesome area from Rugby down to Carrington and even down to Bismarck, Jamestown, New Rockford, back up to Devil's Lake. Otherwise, most other areas are still actually in the 20s as far as gusts go. And then some teens starting to, so the wind's starting to decrease a little bit up here in the northwestern part of North Dakota, but still plenty of winds out there causing some blowing and drifting snow. Current temperatures right now, we're looking at teens out in the east. We're looking at 12 in Grand Forks. Fargo right now at 18. Whoa, of course you're going to do that to me now. Come on now, come on now. That's the wind gusts. Back to the temperatures. There we go. Fargo or Jamestown Valley City at 12. Bismarck also at 12. And New Salem is at a dime currently at this hour. With the wind chills with the temperatures and the winds, right now the current wind chills we're looking at kind of the 8 to 10 below down in the southwest. Actually, most areas are kind of in that -5 to maybe -15 below. With maybe a little bit of exception down further to the southeast where temperatures haven't quite dropped as much, but otherwise a pretty chilly start to the night. As you can see, we've got some white areas out there. We've got some advisories off in the eastern parts of North Dakota, northwestern Minnesota, and these actually just popped up within the last hour or so. And here's why: because of this band of snow that's out there. And we'll take a little bit closer look at that in just a minute. But the Weather Service has issued this weather statement. And basically, it is saying a band of snow stretching from central Grand Forks County to northern Clay County is slowly progressing south towards Fargo Metro band, currently impacting I-29 between Grand Forks and Fargo. Within this band, expect a period of very low visibility, below 1/2 mile. In addition, freezing surfaces or refreezing surfaces mixed with freezing drizzle have made for icy conditions. So there you have it. That band of snow is causing some problems. And here we are taking a little better look at it right now, kind of from Northwood, Hatton, running right through Mayville, south of Fargo, or Hillsboro rather, kind of approaching that Argosville area. And the interesting thing is this actually shows up fairly well when you take a look at the winds. Here the winds are kind of moving out of the north, a little more northerly, whereas the winds further down to the south and west are moving or coming out of the northwest. So you have this little trough area, this line that moves, that's right in through here. And that pretty well lines up with where that snow is. There's that just a very subtle wind shift. So, and the other interesting thing with that, I know me as a meteorology nerd are really kind of geeking out about this. The other cool thing is actually the model is picking up on this. Here's the wind shift according to this little model, and it actually picked it up quite nicely. So you would think we could follow this little wind shift and see what the model does with it and figure out what's going to happen with this band of snow. Well, according to this, it does move it south throughout the night. Here we are at midnight. You can still see the subtle wind shift has kind of moved just a little bit down to the south. By this time, it's kind of approaching that Wahpeton area, maybe moving over to Devil's Lake possibly, but it's also not quite as pronounced either. So I think this band of snow will kind of shift to the south a little bit, but as it does so, it looks like it's probably going to lose some of its punch. And then once you get into that 1 a.m. time frame or after, we're really losing some of that pronounced shift in there. So I think by that time, a lot of that, what is currently out there, this band will very likely just eventually go away. And what we'll be left with is just some general, just some light snow out there. There's still plenty of snow out there. And actually, once again, if we head back to the surface map, we take a look here, wherever you see these little snow marks here, that station was reporting some snow. So if we kind of follow that, that actually still goes way back to Minot and Williston. Bismarck's still picking up some snow. And then out into central parts of Minnesota. So still just some very light snow remaining out there with this system. Plenty of cold air advection associated with this. So we're just getting some light flurries out there once this main band kind of moves through. As far as the road conditions go, all this in purple is still saying that the travel is just really not that great, and that's due to the snow that fell across the area along with the wind gusts of around 40 miles per hour or so. Boy, I know around here in Grand Forks, the snow really didn't move around until it snowed, and we've got a pretty good crust on much of our snow. But as soon as it started snowing, boy, those roads really slicked up here. And here we can kind of see in Mandan a little bit of light snow on the roads, and that's just because they are reporting some light snow. As we look north of Rugby, you can see there's quite a bit of snow just off in the ditches. They got a fair amount of snow. So you can see some of that snow starting to drift into the roadways and some of the intersections. So really not looking that good. And I think some of these spots here where it's got the exclamation points kind of made it sound like maybe they possibly pulled some of the plows overnight. So I don't know, you might just want to be careful as you're traveling out here. As the winds continue to blow, and if they pulled the plows, there's going to be some intersections in some areas where it might drift over fairly well in some spots. Over in Minnesota, just some scattered ice and compacted snow in these purple and blue areas. Again, most of that's from the stuff that's occurred earlier in the day. Here's a picture up in Lancaster, so way up north. We can see some of that snow kind of reaching down to the surface and impacting some visibilities up there as well. But for the most part, visibilities aren't bad. The worst thing is just right now some of the drifting and then causing the slick road conditions. We take a little better look at, well, that's not what I want to see, but anyway, we'll move on. I already showed you the wind gusts. And just to note, the North Dakota DOT just mentions winter may have, this winter there have been 9 snowplows hit and 4 patrol vehicles struck while officers were assisting motorists. Please drive safe around snowplows. Now, I did see another post on Facebook that said, if you look closely, there is actually another snowplow back behind this. So you can't even see it. I looked pretty close, and I couldn't see it. So please do be careful out there. Give these guys some room. They're working really hard this winter, that's for sure. All right, as far as that wind goes, looks like it's probably going to decrease slowly over the night. We're basically looking at the winds within that 20 to 30 mile per hour range until probably about 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. before the winds really start to lighten up and that high pressure system really starts to settle in. Once the daytime kind of warms up a little bit during tomorrow, we do see a little bit stronger winds out of the northwest, maybe gusts of 25 miles per hour. But we really shouldn't see what we had today. Just maybe some light drifting as we get into the day tomorrow. The next batch of really windy conditions comes on Thursday as the next little clipper system starts to move through, and you can see the winds starting to pick up there. Move over to the precip map, and basically there's that little bit of snow that's lingering, or that this model is kind of showing up, moves it out of the area by 3 a.m. So I think by 3 a.m. most of this stuff actually will be out of here. But then it's fairly dry until maybe Wednesday late in the day down in the southwest. It looks like just a weak little system maybe wants to put a little dusting of snow down there, but really not expecting a whole lot as far as any kind of trouble conditions down in that region on Wednesday. As we get into Thursday, here's that next system that's starting to move in. Here's the next cold front. And this is about 3 p.m. on Thursday, Central Time, so you can expect some snow out along and ahead of this front, and then back behind it as well, along with more wind. We're going to get more wind as this system moves through. Here it is at 6 p.m. and 9 p.m. time frame, and you can see how quickly that moves through the region. And by midnight, that front has moved through now North Dakota, all of North Dakota, and then into northern parts of Minnesota. And much like the one that we've had today, even though this really isn't showing anything for snow, I would still expect some snow to be lingering on the back side of this. And we have the close isobars, so that means strong northwesterly winds anyway, expected back on the back side of this front. And actually, as we take a look at this particular model, come 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, here we're seeing wind gusts 35 to 40 miles per hour. And so, once again, most of those trouble spots from Minot to Devil's Lake, down to Carrington, Rockford, all those areas that we've always been talking about lately, down to Gwinner, through Fargo, and then back up kind of in that Hallock area. Overnight on Thursday night into Friday morning, very likely we're going to be seeing some icy conditions once again. So travel is going to be a little hard come your commute on Friday morning throughout those areas that have been just getting hit all winter long. And they're going to get it again on Thursday night and Friday morning. So anyway, sorry, I'm a little goofy tonight. As we get into Friday, into the day, that stuff does kind of linger a little bit until the noon hour. It does eventually move off to the south and east, but wind gusts still, lingering a little bit into the 30s. So we'll probably see some drifting into the day on Friday. But it looks like the worst part of it is going to be into that Thursday night to Friday morning time frame. Moving on with the temperatures. So we're looking at obviously some pretty chilly temperatures overnight. We already saw the wind chills earlier where we were looking at, just even currently 10 below to, across much of the area. Come on, dude. There we go. There it is finally. Mostly, a nickel below, the dreaded nickel. Thanks, Tom Szymanski. The nickel up in whatever station that is, north of Williston. And then, obviously, and these temperatures are going to be falling overnight. So, you expect most areas going to be in the teens to 20 below zero overnight. As far as tomorrow, highs really not going to warm up a whole lot. Single digits to teens down in the southwest. Another chilly night on store for Wednesday night into Thursday morning. Here's the possible wind chills. So teens below to 30 below, way up in the north. And then as we get into Thursday afternoon, it warms up a little bit just because right out ahead of that clipper that's going to be coming in through the area later in the day, Thursday, there is some warmer air that gets pushed to the north. So we are going to be seeing teens to mid-20s, so not horrible. However, mind you, here's that cold front. You can start to see some of these purpley, huey type of colors way up in the northwest. Of course, that's going to be making its way down to the south and east. And sure enough, wind chills on Friday morning one more time. We're looking at 20 below to 30 below, and then teens below as you get into Minnesota, where maybe the cold air hasn't quite hit as much and winds aren't quite as harsh. But another chilly night in store for Friday into Thursday night and Friday morning. Really don't rebound a whole lot as far as temperatures go during the day on Friday. We're still looking single digits to teens. And then Saturday morning, a little better. Starting to get a little bit of a rebound in the west. This is wind chills one more time, hovering right around zero to kind of in that 30 below one more time up in the northwestern Minnesota. And then finally, Saturday, we start to see a reprieve. Look at this, possibly 50 now once again down in the southwestern part of North Dakota. Once we get into Sunday, it cools off a little bit. There is a weak little system that moves through, and I'll show you that in a bit. But so we're looking at 20s to 30s on Sunday possibly. And then as we go through the rest of the week, here we go. Watch this, guys. Watch this warm up. That's Monday. Here's Tuesday. Everybody above freezing. possibly down or as high as 60 down in the southwest on Tuesday. Looking great. Wednesday, a little bit chillier, but heck, I'll take it. That's for sure. Oh yeah, you betcha. What the heck was that? And yeah, I don't know. Again, a little weird tonight. Thursday, a little bit cooler, but still, I'll take it. 30s. Yep. You guys down in the southwest, just deal with it. I think you should be okay with 30-degree weather. And now we're getting into a little bit different time frames, but we're getting out there a little bit far once we get into beyond that Thursday time frame. But it looks like a mild start to the week, a mild week in store next week. So thank God for that. Here we are in the extended range Saturday morning. And we'll just kind of click through the time frames a little bit. Here's this next little clipper system that wants to move into the region on Saturday night into Sunday. Might bring a little bit of a light snow to northeastern North Dakota, northern Minnesota. And then as we get that kind of slips on south, cools our temperatures off a little bit on Sunday, as we had shown you before. Not a whole lot of wind currently associated with that. I'd expect some gusts at 25 or 30, so we'll probably see some drifting snow overnight Saturday night into Sunday. The real question is going to be: is this little guy that comes out of the Rockies late in the day on Sunday into Sunday night? A couple of the models are showing the possibility of of a heavier band of snow developing across northeastern parts of North Dakota down into Fargo, Detroit Lakes, and then once you get down to that Brainerd area. Two of the models right now are sort of showing a heavier band setup for this time frame. Again, this is late Sunday into Sunday night. Some of the other model, there is one, the American model doesn't quite show that. It's actually quite a bit further south. This high pressure that's sitting up here, that model really kind of dominates our region and holds the snow further down at the south. So we'll see which one is the right one. The only thing I'd say right now is these other two models that are currently showing this sometimes have been a little better when it comes to the extended, when it comes to stuff beyond 4 or 5 days or so. Or into that 4 or 5 day range. So we'll have to keep an eye on that for Sunday night and just see what comes out of that. But anyway, eventually that system does move out on Monday. Temperatures warm up. And then the other thing to note is maybe late in the week, again, a couple models are agreeing that there is another deep system that will pull out of the Rockies late in the week next week. Pretty far out there. I mean, I hate to forecast that far out. I hate to guarantee anything that far out. It's just interesting that there's two models that are showing a deepening system that far out, that they actually agree that far out. Where, when, when exactly, that's very hard to tell. We'll have to keep an eye and just to see if that actually does happen. But just something interesting to note that that far out, boy, it doesn't happen that a couple models actually agree on what's going to happen. So anyway, the main thing right now is cold temperatures overnight for the next few nights. And then as we get into that Thursday, late in the day Thursday timeframe into Friday morning, another clipper system moving through. So we're going to be seeing colder temperatures and windy conditions. So just be advised there that we've got another round of probably bad road conditions coming up Thursday night into Friday morning, into your commute on Friday morning. And then we'll just watch that system on Sunday and then watch the temperatures increase. So that's all I got for you. Thanks for sticking around for this goofy forecast. Once again, one more time, hit like, hit follow, share this. Well, let's get the word out there. Everybody, have a good night.